Like I said, that's a beautiful view if you can see it, where that sailboat is going into the ray of the sun on the lake. It's absolutely beautiful. Okay? So let me read the back of this book. It says, just when you thought you read everything about paranormal phenomenon, John Rolfe offers a new theoretical concepts for research and consideration into the nature of poltergeists, out-of-body experiences, telepathy, and UFOs. Whether you are a believer or skeptic, Ralph's theory of the fourth dimension as a logical explanation for paranormal activity is certain to open your mind, stimulate discussion, even alter your concept of reality. Ralph suggests that the universe and all material things exist in fourth dimensions and have a shape in a fourth dimension. This can explain a vast array of phenomena, including spirit communication, movement of objects through space and time, automatic writing, deja vu, clairvoyance, and dowsing. Even the human mind has the ability to operate in four dimensions. With this book, you can learn to train your mind to access other dimensions and tap into the infinite body of universal knowledge available to you. Okay? So it says, discover evidence that firmly supports each common religious practice as prayer, belief in a personal guardian angel, healing and miracles. Learn to build a pathway to other dimensions. Enjoy new science written for the lay person. Llewellyn, the American's oldest publisher of esoteric science, joins hands with England to bring you practical American-style courses from top British minds. Llewellyn Quantum books offer you the latest in the exploration of paranormal. Now, from the cutting edge of scientific thought comes exploring the fourth dimensions. So, this is why I argue that the average person is not operating in the fifth dimension and higher, because it's more than just a belief and a desire of your imagination to do so. And that, it's it's a process, right? Even time is another dimension here. It says the possibility of a unisymmetrical dimension leads to another important concept, often misleading, stated as time is the fourth dimension. The basis of the statement is usually traced to calculations by Hermann Minkowski, following up some of the conclusions from Einstein's theory of relativity, one of the important mathematical relationships he derived, now known as Minkowski space-time continuum, suggests the existence of a fourth dimension of the form. Okay, and then there's this formula right here. This formula right there, where d is a distance, C is the velocity of light, and T is the measurement of time. Okay? So, you'll have people who will talk about, like time traveling. Okay? And then at the end here in chapter 12, it talks about death in itself is nothing, but we fear to be, we know not what, we know not where. John Dryden. Of all the paranormal phenomena mentioned so far, the most difficult to discuss dispassionately is the apparent communication with the soul, spirit, or personality of a person known to be dead. Right? Which is like necromancy. This is the argument that makes the fur fly. Okay? So, they're suggesting that the fourth dimension may be unisymmetrical about our universe, raises some interesting possibilities. If we drop a stone into water, the sudden changes in density as the stone strikes the surface causes much of the energy of the stone to be transferred to the surface layer of the water and to radiate away from the point of impact in the form of ripples. Now, compare this with the Big Bang Theory of the origin of the universe, in which it is proposed that the whole of our universe originated in the form of a colossal outburst of energy suddenly appearing at one point in a featureless void, and that energy and that the matter created from it has since then been expanding from the point of creation. Okay? Now, is there or is there not a distinct similarity between the Big Bang in 3 dimensions and the stone in the pond in 2? Could this huge quantity of energy have been generated by a massive object traveling in 4 dimensions and striking a change in the density of space? So, what I love about this book is it doesn't tell you how to think, right? But it challenges you to use a certain type of discernment in analytical thinking to the point of creating a philosophy, right? And people who utilize esoteric or occulted knowledge without a philosophy, in my opinion, are doing you know, are doing an injustice because, they're acting irresponsibly. And that's when, in my opinion, they're practicing without a license to practice. In other words, you know, when you have a license to practice, you do it responsibly. Okay? But when you're practicing without a license, or you're practicing without, a philosophy, a concept, a mission, a purpose, you know, um, you know, your selfish desires become like manifestations of masturbation. Period. Okay? So I'm surprised. I've been sitting here a lot longer than I thought I could. I've been here almost an hour, and I'm gonna lay down and enjoy the vitamin D and contemplate uh, staying here until the sun actually sets. Okay?